I'll start with Chuck, and I'll pass it over to you, Chuck. Thank you.
Oh, sure. Well, I'm glad to be a part of this. I've been working at HSLDA for 32 years now. And when I first heard about homeschooling was just prior to my coming to HSLDA. My wife and I were both school teachers. And we met teaching school. Actually, she was teaching too many classes and told the principal she needed someone to come and help. And when the principal went to look for someone, she told her, bring him back 25 and single. And that was me. So, but when we first heard about homeschooling, we thought it was pretty ridiculous. We were skeptics. We were professional teachers. We thought you should leave this to the professionals. And we changed our minds gradually when we had our own children. And that was sort of our introduction to homeschooling. So I don't know if you want me to stop there, Peter, and just leave it at that and come back to some things later.
No, continue on and tell us a little bit about what you do at HSLDA and the human resources process there. This is what we're trying to dig into today, and we'd really like to hear at least a little bit of. Perhaps you could tell us about your coming to HSLDA in particular and what you do there.
So when I came to HSLDA, there was 10 people here at that time. It was a pretty small organization. We had right around 12,000 members. And to put that in context, now we have about 107,000 members. So it's been let's say we've seen a pretty big growth curve over the years, but God's blessed us in a lot of different ways. And when I first came, my role, I always joked about it, was basically to do everything that the attorneys didn't want to do, which I think we had 4 attorneys at the time. And so you can figure it out. If we only had 10 staff people, we weren't a very big organization. And that left me in charge of things that I had no business being in charge of, but like accounting and technology and things that I'm grateful not to be involved in now. But my primary role at HSLDA now is to oversee a lot of the administrative things, and HR was one of those areas that I had to begin focusing on early in my career at HSLDA because we didn't have anyone with any expertise in that area. So figuring out how to build the staff, how to choose people, how to how to communicate your mission to your people, those were real challenges, and they continue to challenge us. But it's something that we continually work at. A couple of things that I thought would be lessons that I've learned over the years, I think that would be good to share, is that one of the biggest things you can do is have a very clear sense of mission and make sure that you tell everyone where they fit into it. Make sure your people know, because even someone in the mailroom can have a real sense of accomplishment and being a part of your mission if they just understand where they fit into it. Someone who cleans the building can have that same sense of mission. But it's up to us as the leaders to communicate it to them in a way that they can understand it. I suppose another big thing, a lesson that I've learned is don't be afraid to ask for advice. When you start off and you don't know, be humble enough to say, I don't know, but be willing to ask people and seek advice and make sure you're asking the right people and show initiative. And that's one of the things that I would say has been really important for building teams. And I don't know who comes from a faith perspective or not, but for me, I can say one of the biggest lessons I've learned is, there's a verse in scripture that says, man plans his step, man plans his ways, but God orders his steps. And for us, one of the big things we've done is me and my wife, we'd spent time when there's positions that needed to be filled, just praying. God, bring us the right person. Keep the wrong person away and bring us the right person. So those are some lessons that I think are important to consider when you're looking to build a team.